In 2021, we discovered lithium, and there have been a lot of questions with respect to it being a curse or a blessing to Ghana. Now, let me just start by asking that, how do we leverage on this lithium to ensure economic growth?
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. Now, lithium, I think it's a shot in the arm of this country by discovering lithium, because now it's become the magic mineral now, especially given that the world is going less on fossil fuel. The fact that there's a requirement for batteries, the fact that we are looking at electric vehicles rather than using fossil fuel powered vehicles. So from the point of view of the climate change, it's a positive thing. Now, for a mineral to be a curse or a blessing, depends on how you manage it. A mineral that has been given to you, you did not plant it, cannot be a curse. It must be a blessing. If you don't manage its exploitation and utilization well, then it becomes a curse on you. So I don't think God wanted to curse us by giving us gold. God wanted to curse us by giving us lithium. I think it is how we mine the gold, how we will mine the lithium, and how we will use the benefit of the minerals. If we will use we will use the minerals as a conduit for corruption. If you use the minerals for individual personal benefit rather than national benefit. If we use the minerals to establish more schools, more hospitals, and improve our infrastructure, it cannot be a curse. For me, the issue of always relying on taxes as a benefit from the exploitation of our natural resources is quite not enough. And I think we have to be innovative in the way we seek benefit from our minerals.
Some are saying having government invest directly, sometimes when you look at certain institutions, if government is investing, there is some sort of lack of monitoring. I don't know if you should.
No. What you do is, it's happened before. Ethiopian Airlines. Yeah. It is a government. It's an Ethiopian government entity. I think it's a partnership, but it is run on a very professional basis, extremely professional running of Ethiopian Airlines. If you go to Botswana, and I can't stop talking about them, the biggest diamond production is owned 51% by government. You see, and then 49% by the Botswana. The Oppenheimer family. Now, and the management is professional. It is not based on I am the MPP chairman, so I should be the managing director of that. I am the NDC secretary, so I have to be the non-partisan. It must be purely professional. And for the state, we have destroyed this country with overly partisan approach to things. You go to places and they say, is it part of us? And you get somehow wobbled by that because the country is for Ghanaians, and therefore those who are competent to do things must be allowed to do it.
Governments involving directly into this lithium production. You've also spoken about some private sector investments. Let's look at the percentage-wise. What percentage should government come with, and what percentage should the private sector also get out of this?
No, you cannot legislate what percentage government should bring or not, but I think government should do proper studies. The skills are there for such studies to be done, and then government can use legal means to buy shares into it, because already government has 10%. It is sitting there and relaxing. So if government, let's say initially government cannot take 50%, if it grows it to 40%, and then the only involvement of government is just that Ghanaians who are professionals should be involved in that, and then the profit that will be shared, Ghana will get its big share, or its 40% share profit of the activity. So and then if as things evolve, it turns out that it's a good business and there are other concessions somewhere. Ghana can go in for it, and then some Ghanaian companies can go in for it. Government can buy shares in it, and then it is managed professionally. The only difference is being managed professionally, because the mining itself can be done by Ghanaians. It is just managing it, because those people who come here, the addition they make is just professional management, technically competent management. That's all. Even if it means Ghana must hire technically competent people to manage it, that's it. And then also the country must really understand what has been discovered to be the real figure. Sometimes for lack of competence, we always take the information that is delivered to us by the exploiter. I say that it is 20,000 ounces or 18 million tons. Is it really what it is? Is it just a book figure that is used somewhere? And I don't doubt them necessarily, but I believe that we may also have proper independent check, evaluation of the information. It's not just when they've written those things to us, okay, they found 18 million tons, and so it's good, let's take it as gospel truth. We should be able to understand seriously what is there. Already it is streamlined. It is just that we need to look at the lines and see whether the stream is really, that there are no leakages anywhere. So the exploiter produces the gold. It goes through some milling process. You just get the gold, and it is supposed that a metallurgist that belongs to government, the state metallurgist, so to speak, would be able to declare that the quantity that has been produced is exactly as normally the customs people. In most mining companies, there must be some metallurgist with the customs people who would affirm that this is really the amount that is produced. Do we have a mechanism of affirming that? We need to know whether we have a mechanism of affirming that. The current system is to assay. Now, I think there's a discussion for between government and, I believe, the chamber.
Now we'll come to the Chinese bit, but let's look at revenue. According to the Institute of Economic Affairs, are saying the extractive industry in Ghana are not being taxed enough, but they should be taxed enough to, sort of help government rake in revenue domestically. You've been the Chief Executive Officer for Minerals Commission for some time now. What do you make of that particular report or assertion from the IEA?
I think it's a lazy man's approach to getting revenue for government. And already Ghana is not well centered when it comes to taxes from the extractive. Maybe we haven't spread our tax network wide enough. For example, the small-scale mining sector. Maybe government hasn't streamlined the process so well that even though we produce so much gold from the small-scale mining sector, for example, some time ago we were about 35%, 40% of total amount of gold produced came from small-scale mining. Yet the amount of tax that was received from that sector was negligible. If that is what he's talking about, if it's about the spread, then that's fine. But you just don't impose tax. You want to impose tax that will not overly hurt the sector. Having said that, still the mining sector constitutes one of the largest taxpayers in this country. In spite of the allegation that they are not being taxed enough, I think they still constitute one of the largest areas for revenue to government. And of course, once you introduce too many taxes, you tend to make explorers think too much. That then let me look for another country to explore because the tax is reasonable there. So I don't think over taxation is the approach.
In talking about the Chinese and all that, and also linked to illegal mining galamsey, what is the best way to deal with galamsey?
I think that you cannot completely eradicate illegal mining, but small-scale mining is very important to this country. Any government that stops small-scale mining does so at its peril. So that one is established. Now, how do we do it properly? We've seen, when there was a time when it was illegal, it was outlawed to do mining by Ghanaian, in that sense. But people were doing it in a surreptitious way. So it took until 1989 when the then PNDC government found out that we are using the military to chase them, still they are going. You are using the police to chase them, you are doing scatter, still they are going. So let's find a way of regularizing them. Do you know that Apeteshi was illegal to brew? Apeteshi. Yes. And at a point in time, government found out that, look, people are brewing, people are drinking. So let us regularize and control it. Now, how many people do Apeteshi? They don't even know. It's mighty power and all those things which are there. It improved. So government at that time realized that let us regularize it. So they regularized it. The problem is, why haven't we seen some sanity in that area? One of it is what I've told you. The issue of people who are involved who are not supposed to be involved. And two, the investment in that area. Yes, money is required to start small-scale mining in the way it is being operated now. It's a barter trade approach to getting the oil. And I believe government intention was to ensure that the instead of going with dollars, it goes with a commodity, which has also been priced in dollars. So it's like you bringing me the mobile phone, I'll bring you some cassava from my farm, and if you're happy with that exchange, it's fine. Now, the danger here is that this is based purely on certain stability. Okay, government would have bought the gold with local currency. So now, if the local currency appreciates, then you would also want to question, whether it's still viable. Again, one needs to understand whether government actually went through a proper process in getting that arrangement, because this is quite different. What my reading is that Parliament is still looking for the agreement to comment on or to do something with it. The thing in itself is there's nothing wrong with that. If we will buy oil anyway, and then our gold, we will get benefit from it anyway. So instead of selling, if we say we are just giving you the gold, give me the same value of the gold that I'm giving you in oil, that's okay. But whether we will always maintain that relationship in terms of the exchange exchange rate changes, and how long is it locked in? Is it that for 6 months, we're going to give you gold of this quantity and you're going to give me oil of this quantity? And if oil price go down and you have locked in that amount of gold, what do you do? So that's why it needs to be transparent. People have to comment on it. But conceptually, I don't see anything wrong. I'll be blunt, I will say no, because if me, I'm struggling. So then it means that it's not being transparent enough. The concept is good and really not very extremely innovative. It's just an arrangement that says, instead of paying money, paying dollars, I'll keep my dollars, but the gold that I would get, which could have generated me dollars, I will use that to buy the oil. So it's the same. It's like I told you, the mobile phone and my cassava. Yeah. Instead of selling my cassava to buy the mobile phone, I am giving you the cassava, the same quantity, the value, and then taking your mobile phone. You are happy. I am also happy. However, if the price of cassava goes up, and I've locked in that for a period, then it means I'm paying more. You see what I mean? Or if the price of mobile phone goes down, and I've locked in some value of cassava, which earlier, then I'll be losing if I still continue to give you the same. So that's why people must know how long. Is it a daily thing? Is it on spot sale, or what does it mean? So those details have to come out, and then we'll see whether there's benefit, because everybody wants Ghana to do well. Everybody wants we all want our city to be stable, our foreign reserve to be good enough, but we need to all contribute to making it the way we all want it.